But again, number one, you have to be willing to stop pretending. This whole thing is about the heart being deceitful. In other words, we justify, we rationalize, and we victimize to keep the Lord out. Is a relationship based on honesty? Can you have a friendship if that friend is dishonest with you? Can you have a friendship if that friend, you never know if they're telling you the truth or a lie? If you can't trust that person, your friendship will be very limited. Your relationship will be very limited. Can Jesus trust you and me? Can he trust us? The first thing is stop pretending. He knows it anyway. The second part is be willing. Be willing. Ask him to take away the pleasure of the sin. Feels good to be proudful. You feel like you're somebody. Ask him to take that positive thing away. I'll give you one more prayer. That's a very important prayer in this prayer closet. It requires that first we're honest with ourselves and with the Lord. Being honest with him may sometimes say, Lord, I don't want to let this go. I've asked you to take away the pleasure of it. But honestly, I don't want to let it go. If you stop there, you're not going to get all the way there. You've got to give the Lord something to work with. What you can give him to work with is you can say, Lord, please help me to become willing. I'm willing to be willing. I'm willing to be willing. I want to be pleasing to you. I want to make you happy. Help me to get there. I'm willing to be willing. But again, you got to be honest. I'm going to talk about a third step too. First is being honest. The second is, the third, you and I can't walk it out in our own strength. There's no way. And if we can walk it out in our own strength, it can get scary. Because chances are that strength is growing by pride and by religion. To walk it out by our own strength doesn't work. So in that area, we've been honest and we said, Lord, there's some rooms back here in my soul, in my mind, in my heart, you're aware of. We've been willing to give him the keys and say, you can come on in. Maybe we got there in baby steps by saying, Lord, I'm willing to be made willing, but eventually we get there in that area, that sin, that whatever it is. Oh boy. Then he moves in and he starts cleaning that room out and he starts transforming that part of our heart and our life. The next step is we got to walk it out. There are still some things in my life that the Lord has healed me of, where I still pray almost daily about those things, saying, Lord, help me. Help me. I still have a flesh pull to that thing. Sometimes the pull is not there hardly at all, and sometimes it's pretty strong. Lord, please help me to walk that out daily. There's one thing I didn't mention, and I think I should mention it. I was talking about victimization and using that example of the older sister punching the younger sibling. And I gave you the example of the waterworks come on and I'm the victim and I'm, even though, whatever. Not that that's ever happened to me in my household, ever. But what I've discovered as a dad is very, very interesting. Because when the person who's doing the wrong plays the victim, I did it too when I was a kid. I know you're laughing because you've done it too. Sometimes they also take that and make the victim the villain and put the blame on the victim. It's his fault. It's her fault. I'm the victim. What I've discovered as a dad when that happens is I get really, really mad. How many dads in the room? You know what I'm talking about? Has that ever happened to you as a dad? It's like, whew, wait a minute. You go to your room and shut the door and don't say anything right now, and I'm going to go calm down. Because I can't handle it when I see the roles reversed on purpose. The person that's in the wrong saying, I'm the victim, and then putting the blame on the victim. This is something that I've seen in Christianity, and it blows my mind. It's one of those things that no matter how many times you see it, no matter how true you know it to be, it's still hard to accept. When you go and you see Christians that are walking a walk of faith and they're being persecuted, they're genuinely being persecuted. Almost every single time that I've ever seen in my life or seen out there in someone else's life, the person doing the persecuting puts the blame on me and pretends they're the victim. Almost every time. It blows my mind when that happens. I get passed over for a promotion that I should have had, and some words are said that kind of indicate really it's because I didn't go to the bar with them and play the politics, and they always do it at the bar. I'm not going to go to the bar. I'm sorry, I'm not judging you, but I can't go there. And someone else who can drink with the best of them, and more things that I won't say here, is selected. Okay, whatever. But then to hear blame to me and victim to that person. I want to call that out because it seems to be universal. I don't know why. It seems to be when people are persecuting a believer, that seems to be the way in which the deceptive heart, the trick that it's going to use. It's not going to justify necessarily or rationalize, but really it's the victim thing, and I don't understand why. It just seems to be that way. I'll persecute you, but I'm the victim, and it's your fault. What? And I'm tying this together by saying, when I've seen that happen, not at that extreme, of course, as a dad, I get really, really mad. I have to go calm down and deal with myself before I deal with them. That gives me this little glimpse about this big into why there's the book called the Revelation and the wrath of God being poured out. Because God the Father, when he sees his sons and his daughters being persecuted, killed, and then blamed, it must make him pretty mad. Anyway, so the heart of the problem: justification, rationalization, victimization, desperately wicked and sick. Only physician Jesus can heal that, but we have to be honest, we have to be willing, we have to go there. He searches, he knows anyway, he tests the mind. Let's stop taking the cold medicine, let's deal with the actual virus. He's going to give to us and reward to us according to our ways, according to the fruit of our doing. But those things are going to be determined by the heart. Let's go ahead and pray. Lord Jesus, each person's in a different place. Just talk to the Lord. Where are you at? Are there rooms you don't want him to go to? Does it make you angry to know that he searches that? That's a warning sign. Just talk to him. Are you willing to be made willing? Lord, I pray for every person here, myself included. Help us to drop those keys, Lord, to those areas of our heart that we want to hide from you. Help us to give those keys to you.